Do you know what many men over 60 tell me when they finally dare to talk to me about masturbation? That they're not sure if they're doing it right or if they're actually harming themselves without knowing it. Some feel guilty. Others have simply noticed that they no longer feel the same as before, that their erection no longer responds the same way, that their desire comes and goes, and that after touching themselves, they feel more empty than satisfied. Sound familiar? And no, you're not alone. This doubt is much more common than you might imagine. Most older men still masturbate, but they do it without information, without knowing that there are healthy ways and others that are slowly damaging the penis, the prostate, the pelvic floor, and even the mind. They do it out of impulse the way they learned decades ago. And that's the problem, because what worked at 20 might be sabotaging your intimate health at 60. That's why today I want to speak to you as a doctor, as a sexologist, but also as a woman who listens every day to stories of mature men who want to age with pleasure, dignity, and energy. And what I'm going to tell you isn't just technical. It's deeply practical. We're going to discover, together, what is the right way to masturbate after 60 so that your penis not only works better, but rejuvenates from the inside and out. First, I want you to understand something essential. The way you touch yourself directly affects the structure of your penis. If you do it fast, tense, in a single position, always in silence, clenching your teeth and rushing to finish, you're training your penis to give up. Yes, you heard me. You're teaching your body to ejaculate without real pleasure, without control, and to lose sensitivity. On the other hand, the ideal way, and few men know this, is a technique that combines three elements: slow rhythm, conscious breathing, and activation of the pubococcygeus muscle. The latter is key, because it not only improves erection quality, but also strengthens ejaculation control, prevents urinary incontinence, and keeps blood flow active in the area. And how is this technique done? First, create a calm environment. This is not a race. Take at least 15 minutes. If you can, shower beforehand with warm water. This relaxes the perineum. Then, lie down or sit in a comfortable position, with your back straight, without tightening your abdomen. Use a water-based lubricant. No saliva, no soaps. Your skin is more delicate now. Start touching yourself without squeezing. With an open hand, slowly exploring the base, the glands, the skin. While doing it, inhale deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth. This lowers cortisol levels and activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the one that allows the erection to be more stable and long-lasting. Now, when you're about to reach climax, stop. Gently contract the muscle you would use to stop the flow of urine. Hold it for 5 seconds. Release. Repeat 2 more times. Then return to stimulation. This is called the stop and start technique, and it is endorsed by modern sexual medicine. It improves control, delays ejaculation, and strengthens erectile tissues. But there's something even more powerful. Many men don't know this, but the penis needs training to keep functioning well in old age. And this technique activates deep circulation, stimulates nitric oxide production, improves oxygenation of the cavernous tissue, and can even partially reverse mild erectile dysfunction. And now comes the most revealing part. Men who have started masturbating this way, with awareness, rhythm, breathing, and muscle control, report surprising changes: firmer erections, longer duration, more desire, less anxiety, and even more emotional connection with their partners. Why? Because the body begins to understand that this is not just an act of release, but a practice of vitality, of health, of self-esteem. And yes, there's an additional secret that almost no one tells you. This way of masturbating also improves the quality of your semen, its volume, texture, smell, and that directly impacts how your partner reacts after an intimate encounter. Because yes, they notice, and much more than you imagine. And it doesn't end here. Because now we're going to talk about what you must avoid at all costs if you don't want to unknowingly harm your sexual function. Would you like me to continue with the second part now?
Because just as there is a correct way to masturbate after 60, there are also silent mistakes that most men make without knowing it. And those mistakes, if repeated every week, every month, every year, gradually weaken your potency, your confidence, and your real ability to enjoy. The first and most common is always using the same position. Many men masturbate sitting in a rigid chair, leaning forward, with their pelvis compressed. They do it out of habit, convenience, or shame. But that posture reduces blood flow in the pelvic region, compresses essential nerves, and contributes to genital numbness over time. The medical recommendation is clear. The body needs to be relaxed, the pelvis free, and the lower back supported. The second mistake is using too much force with the hand. Maybe in your youth your penis could withstand almost any rough stimulation. But with age, the skin becomes thinner, the nerve endings change, and excessive pressure causes microlesions, inflammation, and loss of sensitivity. In addition, the brain gets used to that artificial pressure, which later makes it difficult to get aroused with a partner. The third, and one of the most harmful, is stimulating yourself without mental presence, while consuming excessive pornographic content, or while the mind is disconnected from the body. Why is this so dangerous? Because the limbic system, which regulates desire and emotional memory, learns to link arousal to unreal stimuli, not to real sensations. And that directly affects your ability to get aroused with a real flesh and blood person. Moreover, repetitive masturbation in front of screens can cause what is called emotional anesthesia. That is, the body responds physically, but there is no emotional connection or true satisfaction. And that, over time, can lead to the total loss of desire, of the bond with your partner, and to a constant feeling of emptiness after orgasm. And yes, there's another point that very few men consider. Frequency matters, but even more so, how you feel after masturbating. If you do it and feel guilt, fatigue, irritability, or insomnia, it's a sign that something isn't right. That your body isn't interpreting it as an act of health, but as an act of evasion or punishment. In those cases, more important than stopping is relearning to do it from a different place. With respect, with intention, with care for yourself. And there's more. Many men believe that masturbating is simply about releasing pressure, as if it were a tube being emptied. But the reality is that, when done properly, masturbation can be a tool to regenerate your virility, to reconnect with your potency, to train your sexual system in a conscious and restorative way. Because what you do with yourself, in silence, teaches your body how it should behave during a real relationship as well. If you treat yourself with speed, with roughness, without pleasure, that reflects in bed. But if you learn to touch yourself as if you were training your vital energy, as if you were cultivating your masculinity, then your whole body begins to awaken. And it does so with strength, with firmness, with dignity. And that's why today I invite you to look inward, to transform that intimate moment into a health ritual, to leave behind the habits that no longer serve you, and to experience this new way of connecting with yourself not as a substitute, but as a source of silent power. If you do it regularly with awareness and technique, you'll see real changes. Not only in your erection, also in your energy, in your rest, in your mood, and yes, also in how your partner looks at you after an intimate encounter. Because when a mature man touches himself well, he transforms, and everything in his body confirms it. Let me know in the comments if you had ever heard this before. Do you already practice any of these techniques? Would you like me to make a video with guided exercises to strengthen the muscle that enhances your erection? Write it below. And if this video helped you, subscribe now to the channel Sexuality Sabia, because what's coming might forever change the way you understand your pleasure after 60. See you very soon. And remember, your body is still speaking. You just have to learn to listen.